I don't know if you've noticed it or not, but when I talk to different pastors of churches, they're saying that they're seeing an influx, particularly of males coming into the churches right now. Well, what's happening? Where's this phenomenon from? Well, it's from the social media influencer movement that's going on. There has been slowly a tendency to preach over social media. Influencers like Bryce Crawford, Marcus McFolling, David Ladding, others that are out there, and they're just unashamedly preaching the gospel on social media. Well, the funny thing is that back in the 18th century, you had Wesley and Whitfield. Um, George Whitfield told John Wesley, "Hey, I think as I'm reading through the Gospels, I'm seeing Jesus preaching in the fields." And Wesley told him off and said, "Hey, man, no, we got to preach in the church." Many people don't realize that John Wesley, who later started a movement of circuit riders, was actually opposed to preaching out in the fields when Whitfield first approached him. But it's funny because now we're seeing today's influencers are really yesterday's uh, field preachers, circuit riders, whatever you want to call them, people that are reaching the masses outside the walls of the church. That is what is causing the huge movement right now of people to actually come to faith. I'm meeting people just on my street. I met two people this year who just said, I've come back to Jesus. And you ask them, and they don't really know why, but after talking to them for a few minutes, they're on social media. Many of them are talking about going to Greek Orthodox Church because the Greek Orthodox Church is rocking it on social. They're out there just hitting those airwaves. Ministers are often resistant to change when it comes to technology. But here's something to think about today. The kingdom of God has always piggybacked on the back of technology. For example, during Israel's golden age of expansion, when the borders of the kingdom got bigger than ever under David, it was when Israel transitioned from a Bronze Age civilization to an Iron Age civilization. That we know that the Philistines worked with iron. The Israelites had not yet learned to do that. But of course, David in Samuel goes over and becomes a mercenary while he's on the run from Saul. He brings that Iron Age technology back to Israel. His army, when he's king, transitions to an Iron Age, and they defeat not only the Philistines, but everyone around them as they go from a Bronze Age to an Iron Age civilization. So, looking a little further, you can see the um, uh, the advent of the modern missions movement. That piggybacks on the advent of the steam engine. That's when modern missions really took off, quote unquote modern. But in the 19th century, the steam engine, that took the gospel all over the world because suddenly you could get over there in much shorter amounts of time and you could get back if you had to. Most missionaries died within the first few years in the old days, and they had no way of getting back. They actually shipped their belongings in coffins because they expected to die on the mission field. So technology has always been a friend to the church. It is neutral by nature. It's how we use it that actually matters. So I just want to kind of plant that seed there that today's influencers are yesterday's field preachers, and we're seeing the effect of the gospel preached. So for those that are out there pioneering that, we owe you a debt as a church to the young generation that didn't wait for a pulpit in the church, but like Whitfield and Wesley, took it out to the highways and byways.